And you will know my name is the Lord.
I am God.
Alrighty, here we are once again. Welcome one, welcome all to the one, the only Junk Shop Library channel, home of the eternally fleeing reference work. There it is, god damn it. What's that rampant professionalism you've come to expect here on the Junk Shop Library channel? Home of Improv Bible Study, the Atheist Bible Study, where we read every last word of the King James Bible of 1611 and then subject it to the scrutiny, the ridicule, and the general ripping at a new one it so profoundly deserves. If that sounds appealing to you, by all means, stick around. Hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. I see y'all creeping in the back. Don't think I don't see y'all with your public subscriptions turned off so I can't greet you in person. Thank you so much for joining me, whoever the hell you are. Maybe you're just here for the fish videos. I don't know. But for everyone who's here for the Improv Bible Study, welcome. This show would not be possible without the ongoing support of my, oh, I almost got it, Patreon. Well, there it goes. Here it comes again. Patreon patrons, the fantabulous family of folks who have popped over to the address currently scrolling at the bottom of your screen and contributed monetarily as little as $1 a month. Those folks, in roughly alphabetical order, at least by moniker, are the Atheist Pastor, Aunt Jer, B, Bill, Black Sofa, Brainbug, Diana, Espresso Cat, Greg, Godless Granny, Junie the Apostate, Kim, Linda, The Lone Wanderer, Mark, Caesar, Microraptor, Nikki, Ox, Paul, PJ, Rain, Robert X, Santi the Sane, and Wild Eden. Got them all in one go this time. Thank you all so very, very much. It makes a tremendous difference, and it is immensely appreciated. In particular and especial, I got to shout out my top patrons, the members of my genuine calfskin tier, Bill, and my very first patron, my dear friend, the one and only infamous atheist activist and flat earth debunker, Mr. Paul Camish. Thank y'all. Y'all really and truly have gone above and beyond in your support of the channel. It makes a huge difference and has made this the ongoingness of this show possible during the years of the lean and hungry cow, as it were. All right, I see the chat beginning to fill up. There are people here. I see people. So lovely to see you all. B says, love the new opening. That, yes, that was made for me by a friend of mine and friend of the channel, the one and only Brainbug, who has much more technological ability than I can ever hope to have, in addition to being insect handler extraordinaire. I don't even have my microphone set up, let alone creepy crawlies dancing on top of it. Y'all know the rule of YouTube. You got to shill your stuff. If you want to support the channel, there are various links to do that in the description below. Blah, 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 blah. All right, moving right along. We are in a weird transitional period here on the channel. Just by way of announcement, I have recently started working office hours. And so the normal 3 p.m. Eastern improv Bible study is at one level, at many levels, at all levels, let's be honest here, I'm just going to talk straight to you, is thankfully a thing of the past. So we're moving to Sunday and Wednesday nights in just a giant fuck you to my childhood United Methodist churchy schedule. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Now, why are we here? We're here for improv Bible study. What part of the Bible are we studying today? It's Ezekiel, in case you didn't read the fucking title. Why are we reading Ezekiel? Because we've been slogging through this shit for 2 goddamn years plus, and it's taken us this long to get through to Ezekiel. Where are we in Ezekiel? Chapter 11. Because Old Junkshop only did 2 chapters last week because Old Junkshop got a little heated about the writing style. So, for those of you following along in your pew Bibles, you can turn to the 11th chapter of the book of the prophet Ezekiel. And without further ado, here goes nothing. Moreover, okay, so we're still in a vision. Heaven only knows what we'll see this time. Moreover, the Spirit lifted me up and brought me unto the east gate of the Lord's house, which looketh eastward. And behold, at the door of the gate 25 men, among whom I saw Jaazaniah, the son of Azur, and Pelatiah, the son of Benaiah, princes of the temple. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief, and give wicked counsel in this city, which say, It is not near, let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. Therefore prophesy against them. Prophesy, O Son of Man. And the Spirit of the Lord fell upon me, and said unto me, Speak, thus saith the Lord, thus have ye said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that come into your mind, every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in this city, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. And therefore thus saith the Lord God, your slain, whom ye have laid in the midst of it, they are the flesh, and this city the cauldron. But I will bring you forth out of the midst of it. Ye have feared a sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, saith the Lord God. And I will bring you out of the midst thereof, and deliver you into the hands of strangers, and will execute judgments among you. Ye shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof, but I will judge you in the border of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, for ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the manners of the heathen that are around about you. And it came to pass, when I prophesied, that Pelatiah, the son of Benaiah, died. Then I fell down upon my face and cried with a loud voice and said, Ah, Lord God, wilt thou make a full end of the remnant of Israel? And again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel holy, are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get you far from the Lord. Unto us is this the land given in possession. Therefore, say, Thus saith the Lord God, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. Therefore say, Thus saith the Lord God, I will even gather you from the people, and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them an heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep mine ordinances, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. But as for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense their way upon their own heads, saith the Lord God. Then did the cherubims lift up their wings, and the wheels beside them, and the glory of the Lord of Israel was over them above. And the glory of the Lord went up from the midst of the city, and stood upon the mountain which is on the east side of the city. Afterwards the Spirit took me up, and brought me in a vision by the Spirit of God into Chaldea, to them of the captivity. So the vision that I had seen went up from me. Then I spake unto them of the captivity all the things that the Lord had shewed me. And there we have chapter 11. Nope. No, Lisa, you're not the only one hearing blah, blah, blah. That was some blah, 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 if ever did I hear some blah, blah, blah. And I was the one reading the blah, blah, blah. Ezekiel, in addition to being quite possibly batshit nuts, Ezekiel, prophet. Hey, Lydia, how's it going? Good to see you. I see all y'all people streaming in on the side. I just happened to see Lydia's icon pop up. Ox says, and it came to pass, meaning, and then this happened? Yes, but in a much more 1611 way. And it came to pass. I see Mr. Shadow Kitty. I'm seeing all my people I don't normally see at this time. I may have to keep this time slot. Oh, bollocks. Hey, Titan, how's it going? Those were two completely unrelated statements. Don't anybody... 727 occurrences of the phrase, and it came to pass, in the King James Bible. Well, that's all right. We've already well, truly, and far beyond crossed that threshold in the Book of Mormon, those of you who join me at 6:30 Eastern on Saturday evenings. Wasn't that smooth? Did you see how I did that? Cross-promotion of my own shit on my own channel. Mark Caesar would be proud of me. I got merch, too. Now Old Junkshop feels awkward. I remembered that chair going a little lower than that. That was going to be much more dramatic when I did it in my head. Let's see. Ox must have got bored in church. Yeah, to just sit there and count. No, Ox probably got the Google. All right. So, what was I talking about? Blah, blah, blah is what I was talking about. Ezekiel, if I have one complaint about Ezekiel, besides the fact that he may, in fact, be batshit nuts, I can say that because I myself am batshit nuts. Ezekiel is one of the more overwritten books in this badly edited Bronze Age anthology of war crime and outdated regulation. Get your big book of war crimes and outdated regulations merch at the link in the description below. Y'all better be careful. You keep showing up, I'm going to get my practice in, and I'm going to turn into an actual damn YouTuber. Batshit nuts unite. I see you, I hear you, agreed, and cheers. Ox, you're going to make me cry. $1,404. Hell's bells. Hell's bells. I should have picked a less... All right, just for the record, for the late arrivals, this shirt reads, "You won't sleep when you're dead either." I realized while I'm slouching here, the light is just chroming off of this big "you won't" right here at the bottom of the screen, and this was not a well-chosen... I picked this t-shirt when I was getting out of the shower hours ago and wasn't thinking about how it would look on the screen. What is going on with this book? Why did we leave why did they, not we, I didn't have anything to do with it. They're not even my people anymore. Haven't been for 20 years. Why did they leave Ezekiel in? That's what I want to know. I mean, they could have made an Asylum Studios movie out of it with these... Was it somebody in the chat said earlier, four-faced monsters on unicycles? Was that Lisa? Somebody said it in the chat earlier, four-faced monsters on unicycles. Yeah, covered with eyes. Don't forget, like Ezekiel did, and leave it off until 3 chapters later. Covered with eyes, including on their backs and including on their unicycle or their quad cycles or bicycles, I guess. It never actually said how many wheels, did it? It just said wheels within wheels. You just normally see it depicted as one wheel and then another wheel going 90 degrees. Yes, I know, dear. I am old. It was written by a bunch of nuts. Well, yeah, that's not entirely. The problem I have is less with the weird little chap books that make up the Bible, and more with 2 groups of people. One, the people who anthologized it to begin with. Because you can do a good anthologizing and you can do a bad anthologizing. And if you're anything like me, well, first of all, God help you. But secondly, you are a tremendous fan of the short story. And so you know good and goddamn well. You can anthologize well or you can anthologize very, very poorly. The second group of people I have enormous issue with is the people who take this serious, literal, and for honest to God truth. And that's why I started this channel to begin with, 2 years ago and change. Because I was raised by and around, primarily around, but that's a story for another day, people who took this stuff honest, true, and literal as the Modern Girl's Guide to Life, which is a much better book, by the way, much better edited. I've got a copy here somewhere. And then when I was grown, come to find out, there are people who take it even more true, literal, and ridiculously guide to life-y, even than the people around whom I was raised. And that's what I'm here to speak out against. It's a fairy tale anthology. And there's no more reason to live your life by this particular oh shit, I just went full Trump, upside down. Okay. There's no more reason to live your life by this particular fairy tale anthology than by my anthology shelf is out of reach. Okay, that was much smoother in my head. Okay, take care, Randy. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. You know, Ethan was talking on Twitter, Ethan, your friendly neighborhood atheist, earlier today, about trying to get all of the live streaming content creators in the atheist community together and try to make up a kind of unified schedule so that we didn't have overlap. There's too damn many of us. There's only 24 hours in a day, and we're spread around the entire fucking globe. Yes, as Lisa points out, it depends on which church you're in as to how many books you even have. Yes, that's very, very true. And Lisa also points out that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church has 80 books instead of the 66 common to the King James Version, or the, what is it, 72 in the Catholic Bible, something like that. Ox says I should make Bibles that have only the truth in them. I wonder how much just a piece of folded leather can sell for. My friend, I have paid extravagant sums of money for just leather all by itself, but that's a story for an entirely different stream. Probably on a different channel. All right, moving right along. Okay, so this yeah. 15 fucking minutes later, he actually gets back to the they. Here I go misgendering my own damn self on my own damn stream on my own damn channel. I was he for a long fucking time, y'all. That's why I never give anybody any shit when they accidentally misgender me. Because I do it all the fucking time. Non-binary, just for the record. They, them pronouns. How are y'all? That chapter that we just read was just more of the same of the more. Wasn't it? Other than that weird moment where the guy fucking died at the end of the prophecy. Paul wants to read the Ethiopian Orthodox Church's Bible next. That's an interesting idea. We floated the idea on the last improv Bible study of maybe doing the, and honestly, this is probably just because Slim was there pushing my buttons, but we floated the idea of maybe doing the Kama Sutra on Patreon, because obviously we'd have to do it on unlisted videos because we'd get taken down, sure and certain, if I tried to do this open and public. Lydia says the nurse that sat with me is so confused about what I'm watching. And I'm low-key laughing my ass off. Hello, nurse. Treat my friend well. She's good people. Yeah, so it's just more of the, I am the Lord, don't worship nobody else, vengeance will fall upon you at some point. Right? Because if there's one thing God has gotten very vague about in this, in this middle third or so of this book, as far as I can tell, it's hey Surf, how's it going? It's timeline. The last time we had an honest timeline that was easy to follow, it was all the way back in Ezra. And what was Ezra about? Rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem. Very, very detailed account of building a wall around Jerusalem. I'm sorry, y'all. There just wasn't anything in that chapter. It was the continuation and the end of his vision after he was snatched up by the hair of his head. Apparently, I've had a lot of visions. I've been snatched up by the hair of my head so many times there ain't nothing left up here, especially in the back. Snatched up by the hair of his head at the edge of the river Chabad in Chaldea, among them of the exile. Shown many crazy things, including the four-eyed monsters on unicycles. And then put back. After having been told to prophesy against the evil of the peoples led by Jaazaniah, the son of Azur, and Pelatiah, the son of Benaiah, princes of the people. I am guessing on some of these pronunciations. Some of them I know I'm spot dead fucking on, and on some of them I am absolutely fly-by-night, seat of my pants, goddamn winging it. And I'll never tell you which is which. We're going to roll on into chapter 12, or we're never going to get through this fucking book. Chapter 12. The word of the... Oh, Lordy Lou. I'm sorry, we've been in prophecy for a long time. We've had visions and prophetic stuff and notions and oddities and doodads and delights of yesteryear. And if you got that reference, I know almost exactly how old you are and how much public television you watched as a youngster. It's been a long time since we've had much in the way of just the fucking narrative. I prefer the narrative myself. I'm fine with poetry. I've got several books of poetry. But if I'm going to read poetry, I want to sit down and read it. This chaotic mix of narrative and doggerel, if I want to read something like that, I'm going to read my own fucking shit. Coming soon to the internet near you. Y'all think I'm kidding. Young and British. Doesn't know what I'm talking about. Should I do a voice? I could do a Dick Van Dyke Cockney accent and just insult the almighty shit out of the entirety of everybody on that side of the pond. Don't worry, I won't. I like having friends. Chapter 12. The word of the Lord also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see, and see not. They have ears to hear, and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Therefore, thou son of man, prepare thee stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight, and thou shalt remove from thy place to another place in their sight. It may be they will consider, though they be a rebellious house. Then shalt thou bring forth thy stuff by day in their sight, as stuff for removing, and thou shalt go forth at even in their and thou shalt go forth at even in their sight, as they that go forth into captivity. Dig thou through the wall in their sight, and carry out thereby. In their sight shalt thou bear it upon thy shoulders, and carry it forth in the twilight. Thou shalt cover thy face, that thou see not the ground, for I have set thee for a sign unto the house of Israel. And I did as I was commanded. I brought forth my stuff by day as stuff for captivity, and in the even I digged through the wall with mine hand. I brought it forth in the twilight, and I bare it upon my shoulder in their sight. And in the morning came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, hath not the house of Israel, the rebellious house, said unto thee, What doest thou? And say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, This burden concerneth the prince in Jerusalem, and all the house of Israel that are among them. Say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them. They shall remove and go into captivity. And the prince that is among them shall bear upon his shoulder in the twilight, and shall go forth. They shall dig through the wall to carry out thereby. He shall cover his face, that he see not the ground with his eyes. My net also will I spread upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I will bring him to Babylon, to the land of the Chaldeans, yet he shall not see it, though he shall die there. And I will scatter toward every wind all that are about him to help him, and all his bands. And I will draw out the sword after him, and they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall scatter them among the nations, and disperse them in the countries. But I will leave a few men of them from the sword, from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen whither they come. And they shall know that I am the Lord. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking, and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness. And say unto the people of the land, Thus saith the Lord God of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the land of Israel, They shall eat their bread with carefulness, and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein. And the cities that are inhabited shall be laid waste, and the land shall be desolate. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, The days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? Tell them, therefore, Thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, The days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of the Lord. For I am the Lord. I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith the Lord God. Again the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, The vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Therefore, say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, There shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord God. And there we have chapter 12. Hey, Brain Bug. Hey, Junie. Good to see y'all. Well, that was fucking exhausting, y'all. It's hard to speak in the voice of the Lord. The Lord, yeah, right? Shit, I'm pulling that up. The Lord just won't shut up. That is the goddamn truth, isn't it? Okay. So, God, for about the 304th squillion time, prophesies, or rather tells one of his prophets to prophesy, that he's going to wipe all of Israel out because they're abomination worshiping, they're a rebellious house. They just don't generally suck his dick as much as he wants his god dick sucked. Sorry, GE, you come up with something that catchy and that blasphemous, you can't be surprised when other fuckers steal it. That's more talk of the Lord than I heard for the duration of every church service I went to with my Catholic ex. Yep, right. Oh, don't get me fucking started on Catholicism. I do Catholicism every Sunday morning with my patrons. No, patrons. They start over here. They start on my left. I've got to point towards the window. Start pointing towards the window. That's what I'll try to remind myself. It's like Jen Aldrich and her point towards the cushions. I'll try to remember. Left is... All right, so for the entirely too manyth time, God complains about the rebelliousness and the abomination worshiping and followingeth house that is Israel. Because everything that's not him is an abomination. So don't you dare go following. And again, for about the 300 squillionth time, he announces he's going to wipe out the entire house of Israel. All of them. Every last mother-loving one of them. Except for some of them. Because at some point, sometime between the book of Chronicles and the book of Ezekiel, God developed a soft spot. Early on in this book, God was pretty fucking hardcore. God would smite your ass if you used the wrong kind of fire to light the incense. God was opening the ground under motherfuckers if they said the wrong incantation. There was lightning. There was fire coming down from the sky. He was sending bears out of the wood to maul to death children who made fun of his prophets for being bald. Finally, something God and I agree upon. But at some point, as we transitioned into this weird middle third around the exile to Babylon, God mysteriously decided to communicate through the words of the prophets that he wasn't going to wipe them out whole and entire. He was just going to wipe out some of them. And leave some of them to carry on, as it were, the family name. Maybe Yahweh is one of those gods who starves to death if he doesn't get worshipped enough. Wasn't there a Star Trek episode, something like that, way back in the day, like on the original series, like the William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy? Anyway, I digress. I digress? Nay. How unlike him, you cry. Anyway, at some point, God has decided that he's going to start leaving a little bit of people not to get smoked. Except for the times when he states that he's going to smite everybody and kill everybody, and that there's not going to be any members of the actual house of Israel left, and he's going to create his new house of Israel from the closest to righteous as he can scramble up from the nations around. He can't make up his fucking mind, can Mr. Yahweh. This is, I mean, oh my goodness, I've complained, some of y'all, poor Paul, some of y'all have already heard me complain about poorly edited books once already today. Some of y'all get a lot of junk shop on Sundays. Y'all fucking masochists, weirdos, crazies. I love y'all one and all. But this is bizarre. I mean, read your... Oh, God, what was that woman's... Not Horton. Was it Edith Hamilton? Somebody help me out here. Who was awarded an honorary citizenship of Greece because she spent her entire career writing about the myths and the traditions of ancient Greece. Edith Hamilton, I think was the name. I'm just turning around as though I'm in the old set, because I used to have copies of Bullfinch's Mythology and Edith What's-Her-Face's just right here. That looks weird. Harley wasn't here in the old set either, but literally like right here. Anyway. Ugh. Y'all, this book makes me tired. There is so much to complain about in this book. And we're on page 482 out of 18, 19, out of 722. Okay. Well, y'all, you know what? We're well more than halfway done. And it's only taken us a little over 2 years. Hey, Slim, what's going on? Try reading 6 chapters in one sitting. I've done that. I have done. Somebody dropped a link to, I don't think Lisa's got a wrench, so I don't think she can drop links. But somebody dropped the link to Lisa's channel. She's working her way through the Bible from the beginning, just in an analogous way to the way I did, except I think, Lisa, I think you're a little more frustrated even than I was back as early as you are. You're going to have an aneurysm by the time you get to Chronicles. Please don't. Where are you now? You're somewhere in Exodus, I think. You're dealing with the construction of the tabernacle, aren't you? Okay, y'all, we've been going 45 minutes, and I've just been bitching and moaning the whole time. Let's see. Do y'all want to run a little long and do chapter 13, or do you want to stop where we are? I could go either way, honestly. I could do one more chapter and go a little long, or I could wrap a little early and just stick with 2. I promise y'all I'm not just going to do 2 chapters a day. We're never going to get out of fucking Ezekiel if I keep belly aching about the anthology format. That much more. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. All right, well, Slim says do it, but even as little as I know Slim, I'm a little hesitant just to do it based on Slim's advice. So I'm going to wait for the chat to catch up before I figure out. All right, Lisa says go long. Slim says do it. All right, one more chapter. We'll end on Lucky 13. All right, so he's been put back on the bank, being told to prophesy doom, doom, death, and destruction. Doesn't he know any words that don't start with the letter D? Go big or go home. Yeah. Okay, Lydia, take care. I know it's super late where you are. What? Jesus Christ, it's almost midnight where you are, isn't it? Thank you for coming. It's always good to see you. All right, Lucky 13. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, Nope, I did indeed read that correctly. Okay, verse 2. Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, Woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, The Lord saith, and the Lord hath not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Have ye not seen a vain vision? And have ye not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, The Lord saith, albeit I have not spoken. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, therefore behold, I am against you, saith the Lord God. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord God, because, even because they have seduced my people, saying, peace, and there was no peace. And one built up a wall, and lo, others daubed it with untempered mortar. Say unto them which daub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower, and ye great hailstones shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the daubing wherewith ye have daubed it? Therefore thus saith the Lord God, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in mine anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. So will I break down the wall that ye have daubed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall. And ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. No, there's more. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that daubed it with untempered mortar, and they will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that daubed it, to wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Lord God. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them, and say, thus saith the Lord God, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature to hunt souls. Will ye hunt the souls of my people? And will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by your lying to my people that hear your lies? Wherefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith ye there hunt the souls to make them fly, and I will tear them from your arms, and will let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly. Your kerchiefs also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way, by promising him life. Therefore ye shall see no more vanity, nor divine divinations. For I will deliver my people out of your hand, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And there we have the slightly repetitive chapter 13. So who is he again? Did y'all happen to catch that? It went by so fast I didn't hardly notice. Oh dear. Deary, deary, me. All right. So, I was able to follow it when he was talking to the men. You're being bad prophets. You're making shit up. You're saying there's going to be peace in Jerusalem, and I ain't told you that. Jesus ain't say that. But then he turns and starts talking to the women prophets, which is news to me. Wasn't it news to y'all? I didn't know they had fucking women prophets in Israel. It's fucking news to me. Every time there's been a woman prophet in Israel, it's been held up in this book as some big fucking remarkable thing. I didn't know it was a goddamn trend. Okay, so anyway, he goes to the women prophets, or he is told to go to the women prophets, who sew pillows in every armhole. And I have no earthly goddamn fucking clue what it means to sew a pillow in an armhole. That sounds like a bad translation moment. Since we're running long anyway, let's do a quick bit of my recurring segment. I need a graphic. Of my recurring segment, Comparative Translation. We will begin, as we so often do, with the International Children's Bible, perfect for kids 7 through 12. Vouched for by Dr. James Dobson's Focus on the Family magazine. Ezekiel 13. Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. 9, 10, 11, 13. Yeah. The wall, hailstones, the wall. Prophesy against them. Say, this is what the Lord God says, how terrible it will be for women who sew magic charms on their wrists. Well, that at least makes some kind of sense. Pillows in every armhole. Okay, so if you've got your robe with, I'm trying to cast my mind way back. Biblical attire would have been, you've got your underrobe, which has no sleeves. And then your average person has an overrobe which has short sleeves. Okay, so what we're talking about here, and this actually works for once, balancing the King James against the Children's Bible, because you've got the 1611 and you've got the terminally 90s. You can tell by the outfits and the hula hoop. Okay, so what we're talking about here is like a spell bag, right? I mean, everybody went through some kind of weird light-duty witchy phase, right? Coming out of religion, those of us who were stuck in it to begin with, at any rate, everybody did some kind of weird witchy shit at some point. Whether it was because the girl you were with liked it, or the boy you were with liked it, or the NB you were with liked it, or because you weren't quite ready to let go of that smidgen of religion. Smidgen of religion. Smidgen of religion. If that ain't a song, it ought to be. So what we're dealing with here is a spell bag that you would, like, tie around your shoulder as though it were a tourniquet, and it would stay there, under your arm, so it would always be with you but out of your way. And it wouldn't be in your money purse, or, it wouldn't be around your neck where it would be obvious or anything. It would always be with you, but it would be invisible. Right? I mean, that's what my interpretation is. Somewhere between pillows in the armhole and whatever the hell it was I just read out of the children's version. Okay, so that makes sense. So he's been sent to the... I've been chopping off the top of my head all day on this camera. There we go. That's better. So he's been sent to the false prophets of Yahweh, who are prophesizing on Yahweh's behalf, despite the fact that Yahweh ain't came to them, who have essentially just been not plagiarizing. That's not the word I want. It starts with a P. Pacifying, who have essentially just been pacifying the princes and the rulers and the tax collectors and so forth and so on, who have been left alive among the Israelites in exile in Babylon and Chaldea. Right? So he's been sent to them, and he was given the sign in chapter 12 of the weird prophet exercise. Like Isaiah had to walk around the desert butt-ass naked for 3 burning-ass years. Jeremiah had to bury his underwear in a hole in the rock and then come back later to find it all fucked up. And Ezekiel apparently was told to gather up all his shit in a bindle. Bindle? Is that the word? Like a hobo sack on a stick, and go out of the town by means of digging through the wall and tell everybody that it was that kind of stealth and that kind of panic by which everybody was going to flee. And something I forgot to mention while we were in 12. Part of that prophecy was that they were going to be carried off into captivity. Ain't they already in captivity? They're already in fucking Chaldea under Babylonian rule. Who's going to overthrow the fucking Babylonians? The Babylonians were the smiting smiters God brought in to smite the smiters that had been brought in to smite the people of Israel before. This book makes me tired. Anyway, so he's been sent to the naughty prophets who have prophesied despite not being told by God to prophesy, and said, you are naughty and you will fall. Now he's been sent to the folk witches to say, you are naughty and you will fall. And that's the entirety of 12 and 13. All right, well, we've been going just over an hour now, and despite the fact that I know it's going to rankle Paul, I think we're going to end on chapter 13, despite the fact of it being an odd number. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I was afraid with such a drastic change in schedule, I was honestly afraid wasn't nobody going to come hang out with me for this, especially after the tedium that was Jeremiah and Lamentation. So I appreciate y'all very, very much, whether you're watching me live now or watching back in the future. Thank you for coming. Special extra thank you shout out, nope, toward the window, to my patrons whose names have been scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout. Y'all are awesome. We don't like change, says Ox. Yeah, you know what? I don't either, my friend. I don't either. But adapt or die, right? Okay, so we'll see y'all again Wednesday night at somewhere around the same time. Make sure you got your notifications on so that you'll know when at exactly what time it is. I think Julie's got Wine and Reason tomorrow night. I forgot to ask her before I went live, so I have neither a link nor an actual confirmed time. Yes, Atheist Church over on Lisa for Truth's channel will be starting here in not too terribly long. Thank you all so much for your support, your well wishes, your friendship. It means a lot. How do you get a hold of me? I'm on all the media's social except for Facebook under the same Junkshop Library. You can DM me on Instagram, Twitter, any of those. Or if you don't like those, I completely respect that choice. And you can email me at junkshoplibrary@gmail.com. Branding. Keep it consistent, right? Yeah, absolutely. Get hold of me. We'll set something up. That sounds like fun. All right. Well, as we always say before we roll out of here, everybody take care. Be safe. And stand against hate. We will see y'all again soon. And real quick, before I run Brainbug's fantabulous intro/outro one more time, let me know either through DM or in the comments below when I should move the mental health stream to, because I can't do Thursday afternoons no more. And I can't move it to Thursday nights, at least not around this time, because that's usually when Math Pig streams. And I try not to stamp too hard on my friends' time slots. So, give me a shout. Let me know. Discord. Okay, I'll take a check. I'll take a check. That makes it sound like I'm receiving payment. I will take a look at you. Old Junkshop tired. See y'all again soon. Peace always.